Northland Health Centers is joining me this morning with some suggestions. Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning, yes.
We were talking about this during the break. You know, it's one of those mornings where you're probably going, you know what, I'd just soon hang around here, but you came, you're here,
right.
and I appreciate it. Warming up out there at all?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
I wish to say it was.
I think that's the bottom line over the next few days. All right, define radical acceptance. What are we talking about?
So radical acceptance can be a very powerful coping skill and tool to help us accept the reality that we have without judgment. Because a lot of times when we're in a difficult situation like this weather, can any of us change this weather? No, we cannot. As much as we'd like to, that would be great, but we can't. So if we resist that and say it shouldn't be this cold, this is terrible, you know, we add all those words into it, that just increases our suffering and our misery. But what radical acceptance is talking about is saying, well, it's cold out, that kind of sucks. I don't like that. So I'm just gonna have to bundle up a little more. You know, it's helping us sit in that kind of the ugly feelings that we have, which we want to avoid.
Right.
We don't want to have those, but if we resist them and we push away from them, we actually make them worse.
But Jenny, that is so true. If we can train our minds to accept those kind of things. My flight's delayed, okay?
Yeah.
Now I have time to grab breakfast or something like that. Turn
Right.
it around and take advantage of those situations rather than lament what's going on.
Right. I think what the biggest resistance that we get from that of accepting that is that we feel like acceptance is approval.
Right.
Like if we're accepting it, we say this is a good thing or I wanted it to be this way. That's not what acceptance is. Radical acceptance is about radically accepting what's in front of us right then and there. Doesn't mean we have to like it or we have to agree with it or even approve of it. It just is what it is. And a lot of times that's a cliche statement that a lot of people struggle with. It is what it is. But there's a statement to get us to that factuality of what's in front of us. Because if we want to improve our reality, first we have to accept it. We have to see what's in front of us truthfully and acknowledge that before we can actually get into any action to change it.
Well, and it may upset you. It may make you sad, a certain situation, whatever it is. But you talk also, Jenny, about accepting those emotions that we have because we're going to have some. If you find out something negative has happened, it may upset you, but you need to recognize that and work through it.
Yeah, a lot of times we can make things worse for us by not accepting that, by not feeling and sitting in those emotions. We don't want it. Who wants to sit in those uncomfortable, unpleasant emotions? None of us. We're human beings. We don't want to feel that negativity. But in order to move on from it, to be able to make any change from it, is we have to sit in it. We have to feel in order to heal.
One of the words that, I don't remember exactly where I read this or where I heard it, but one of the words that we use frequently in our conversations or in talking to a child or whatever is the word should. You should. And that really carries some real power and some real negative connotations.
Right, right. The word should kind of gives that implication like we have control over the situation, when in many situations we don't have total control. Actually, we operate in the lack of control more often than we actually operate in the aspect of control. So by saying should, it's like shoulda, coulda, wouldas. You know, we want it to be this way, it should be this way, but there's always these variables that we can't control. And when we should ourselves to death, we're actually keeping ourselves stuck in that and not accepting the reality because we're stuck on this expectation of what we wanted or what we desired or what we preferred. But that may not align with the facts or what aspects of control that we actually have.
All right, we're down to a half minute, but I do want to get to this one. Perfection is not attainable, and I think that's hard to accept sometimes.
Exactly, yeah. Perfection is when we feel like we can have total control of everything, but we never have total control. And sometimes the delight in feeling success is actually overcoming those messy parts. When you think about something that you've been successful, was it easy? No. Was it clean? Was it simple? Absolutely not. It was probably a little messy and a little complicated, but we felt successful because we overcame that.
Without question. There's the information on how to get a hold of Jenny or anyone else at Northland Health Centers. We appreciate your time. Always good information. Thank you so much, and stay warm on your way out of here.